Have you ever felt the crushing weight of financial anxiety, watching as your bank account dwindles while your bills continue to mount? That moment when you've tried everything, budgeting meticulously, working overtime, even cutting back on life's small pleasures, yet abundance still seems to elude you like a mirage in the desert? What if I told you that financial freedom isn't about working harder or saving more, but about speaking differently? What if you're just 5 words away from opening the floodgates of wealth that have been waiting for you all along? Has this ever happened to you? You spend nights tossing and turning, your mind racing with financial worries. You've tried positive thinking, vision boards, and endless affirmations, yet the universe seems deaf to your pleas. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might surprise you. The universe doesn't respond to begging, it responds to commanding. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. The secret that the financially elite have known for generations is shockingly simple. Wealth responds to authority. While you've been spending hours worrying, days overthinking, and weeks trying to manifest abundance, through hope and desperation, the solution has always been just 5 seconds away. Just 5 seconds to shift your energy pattern and completely transform your financial reality. Think about it. You don't plead with electricity to power your home. You flip a switch with complete certainty that light will flood the room. You don't beg water to flow from your faucet. You turn the handle with absolute confidence. This same principle governs the flow of wealth. The universe doesn't move because of lengthy explanations or desperate prayers whispered in the dark of night. It responds to something much simpler: your tone of command. Most people approach wealth from a position of lack, asking, hoping, wishing for financial breakthroughs. They speak from their current reality rather than the reality they wish to create. But what if wealth was never about asking, but about commanding? What if the difference between financial struggle and abundance was simply in how you speak to the universe? This 5-word command I'm about to share with you isn't some magical incantation. It's a declaration of authority that aligns you with the natural laws of prosperity. When spoken with unwavering conviction, not hope, not desperation, but absolute certainty, these 5 words have the power to rearrange your financial reality almost instantly. I discovered this principle after years of financial struggle, watching as others with seemingly less talent, less education, and less effort attracted wealth effortlessly. The difference wasn't in what they did, but in how they spoke to the universe. The transformation began when I realized that my words weren't just descriptions of my financial reality. They were actively creating it. Each time I complained about bills, each moment I focused on lack, I wasn't merely observing my situation, I was decreeing it into continued existence. Your words are not just sounds disappearing into the air. They're spiritual decrees, divine codes that instruct invisible forces to rearrange the very fabric of your financial reality. Think about the last time you spoke about money. Did your words carry the weight of worry or the certainty of command? This distinction isn't merely semantic. It's the hidden catalyst behind every financial breakthrough or breakdown. The wealthy elite understand this fundamental truth. Your financial world obeys your tone, not your tears, not your effort, not even your most brilliant financial strategies. If these words have awakened something within you, hit the subscribe button now and join our community of wealth creators transforming their financial reality through the power of command. If your tone carries fear when you speak about money, "I'll never have enough. I can't afford that, Mo. Money is so hard to come by," the universe faithfully echoes that fear back to you as continued financial struggle. But when your tone carries absolute faith, wealth flows to me effortlessly. I am a money magnet. Financial abundance is my natural state. The universe has no choice but to orchestrate miracles in your financial landscape. This revelation changed everything in my journey. Behind the scenes of every financial transformation is this subtle but profound shift in how we communicate with universal forces. The emotional quality behind your words determines what manifests in your bank account far more powerfully than any investment strategy or budget plan. When you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me now," with absolute certainty, you're not hoping or wishing, you're commanding. You're activating the same creative power that orchestrates galaxies and holds atoms together. You're speaking directly to the invisible forces that govern reality, and you're doing it from a place of unwavering authority. The mindset revolution happens when you understand that wealth doesn't respond to negotiation. It responds to declaration. It doesn't arrive through begging. It arrives through commanding. The impact of this shift extends far beyond your finances into every dimension of your life experience. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal what most financial experts never fully explain. The universe responds to authority in the same way nature responds to its own laws. When you drop something, it falls, not because gravity is considering your request, but because it's obeying an unbreakable principle. This same dynamic governs your financial reality, creating a hidden truth that few ever discover. Your journey toward financial mastery begins the moment you understand that you're not a beggar in this universe. You're a commander. This isn't about ego or manipulation. It's about alignment with the fundamental laws of creation that have always been operating in your life, whether you recognize them or not. If you're beginning to see how your own words have been secretly shaping your financial reality all along, type "I command wealth now" in the comments below. Most people approach the universe as supplicants, hands outstretched, hoping for financial blessings to be bestowed upon them. They view abundance as something external, something to be granted or denied by forces beyond their control. This fundamental misalignment is the invisible barrier separating you from the wealth you deserve. The breakthrough in your financial journey occurs when you fully embody this truth. You are not a beggar in this universe. You are a commander. This revelation isn't about inflating your ego or manipulating outcomes through force of will. It's about a profound recalibration of your relationship with universal forces. It's about recognizing your authentic position in the cosmic order as a co-creator with divine intelligence. When you speak from this aligned state, the very molecules of creation recognize your authority and respond accordingly. Consider the fundamental difference between wishes and decrees. When you wish for financial abundance, you're operating from a consciousness of separation and lack. You're implicitly acknowledging that wealth is something outside of you that might or might not be granted. But when you decree abundance, you're functioning from a consciousness of oneness and authority. You're acknowledging that prosperity is already yours by divine right. This distinction is encoded in the very foundation of spiritual wisdom. In the original creation stories across traditions, the creative force didn't hope for light to appear in the darkness. It didn't suggest that light might be a good addition to the cosmos. It declared with absolute certainty, "Let there be light." This wasn't a tentative request. It was a command issued from a place of undeniable authority. And from that certainty, entire galaxies were born. The decision point in your financial evolution comes when you recognize that your words carry this same creative potential. When you say, "Divine abundance flows to me now," you're not describing your current financial reality. You're creating the template for a new one. You're establishing the vibrational blueprint that universal forces must follow. Behind the scenes of this spiritual technology is a fundamental shift in consciousness. Most people function as observers of their financial circumstances, commenting on what they see and reinforcing those patterns through attention. The awakened individual functions as the architect of their financial reality, deliberately constructing new patterns through the power of aligned declaration. This mindset revolution transforms not just what you say about money, but how you move through the world. Your posture changes, your energy shifts, even your voice carries a different resonance, not from arrogance, but from the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your true place in the cosmic order. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore how to practically apply this principle of command in your daily financial life. The journey from theoretical understanding to embodied wisdom requires consistent practice, moments of decision where you choose declaration over desperation, command over complaint. If you're ready to step fully into your role as a commander of wealth rather than a beggar for it, write "I decree abundance" in the comments below. The revelation that transformed my understanding of wealth creation was recognizing that when I speak about money, I'm not merely describing my financial situation. I'm actively creating it. Every word you utter about your finances isn't just commentary on what exists. It's a powerful blueprint instructing invisible forces to arrange your reality according to that pattern. This isn't metaphorical. It's the literal mechanism behind manifestation. Think about the words you habitually use when discussing your financial life. I'm broke. I can't afford that. Money is tight right now. These seemingly innocent observations aren't just describing your current circumstances. They're programming your future experiences. They're energetic templates that the universe faithfully reproduces as your ongoing financial reality. The hidden truth behind manifestation is that your words function as architectural drawings for your life experience. Just as an architect's blueprints determine what construction workers build, your verbal blueprints determine what the universe constructs in your financial landscape. This insight reveals why identical financial strategies produce radically different results for different people. The distinction lies not in the actions, but in the declarations surrounding those actions. Behind the scenes of financial transformation is a crucial distinction that few ever recognize. Most people command from fear instead of faith. Listen carefully to the language patterns of those struggling financially versus those experiencing abundance. Those in lack say things like, "I hope this investment works out," or "maybe my situation will improve soon," or "I'm trying to stay positive about money." These aren't commands, they're hesitations carrying the vibration of doubt. The universe responds not to your wishes or hopes, but to the energetic signature behind your words. When you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me now," from a place of fear or desperation, you're actually commanding the continuation of lack. The words may sound positive, but the frequency they carry tells a different story. And it's the frequency that determines what manifests. The journey toward financial mastery requires developing what I call command consciousness, the ability to speak from a place of absolute certainty regardless of current circumstances. This isn't about denial or delusion. It's about understanding the sequential nature of reality creation. Faith always precedes manifestation. Certainty always comes before evidence. This revelation completely shifted my approach to financial challenges. Instead of seeing my empty bank account and speaking from that reality, I began to speak from the reality I intended to create. Instead of saying, "I hope things get better" when facing financial pressure, I declared with quiet authority, "Divine abundance flows to me now." The distinction wasn't just semantic, it was energetically revolutionary. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore the specific vibration that makes wealth commands effective. most people focus exclusively on saying the right words, without addressing the energetic signature those words carry. But understanding this subtle distinction is what separates those who merely practice affirmations from those who actually transform their financial reality. If you've noticed how your words about money have been shaping your financial experiences, type "My words create my wealth" in the comments. What most people fail to realize is that every single word you speak operates as a catalyst for spiritual law. This isn't metaphysical speculation. It's the fundamental mechanism behind reality creation, behind the scenes of your conscious awareness. Each phrase you utter about money is setting powerful forces into motion that will ultimately manifest as your financial experience. When you casually remark, "Making money is hard," you're not merely offering commentary on your current situation. You're actively decreeing hardship into continued existence. When you say, "I'll never get out of debt," you're not predicting your future. You're creating it with mathematical precision. This revelation transforms how you approach every conversation about your finances, recognizing that casual complaints are actually powerful instructions to the creative intelligence that shapes your reality. The awakening in my own financial journey came when I began monitoring my words with the same diligence I would monitor financial investments. I realized that negative statements about money weren't innocent observations. They were costly withdrawals from my energetic bank account, each one diminishing my manifestation power. Statements of faith, by contrast, were powerful deposits, each one increasing my energetic wealth regardless of my current bank balance. The deeper secret that few financial teachers reveal is that the universe doesn't actually respond to your words at all. It responds to your vibrational signature. Your words are simply vehicles carrying this signature into the quantum field that surrounds you. Think of it like this. When you speak, you're not just making sounds with your vocal cords. You're broadcasting electromagnetic signals that interact with the creative forces around you. Modern physics has confirmed what ancient wisdom traditions taught for millennia, that everything at its most fundamental level is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your consciousness itself functions as a broadcasting station, with your thoughts and emotions creating specific frequencies, and your words amplifying and directing those frequencies into manifestation. This explains why simply repeating positive affirmations often fails to produce results. When your mouth says, "I am wealthy," but your energy field broadcasts fear and lack, the universe responds to the fear, not the words. A tone of fear, even when disguised in positive language, generates fear-based experiences in return. A tone of absolute faith, however, produces what many would call miracles: unexpected income, perfect timing, opportunities, resources appearing from seemingly nowhere. The journey toward mastery involves developing what I call vibrational integrity, alignment between your words and your energetic state. This alignment creates coherence in your manifestation field, allowing wealth to flow without resistance. The most powerful wealth declarations aren't just verbally correct, they're vibrationally aligned with absolute certainty. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the exact 5-word command that creates this perfect alignment. A phrase so potent that when spoken with the correct vibrational signature, it literally opens the floodgates of abundance almost instantly. This isn't about the words themselves, but about the state of being from which you speak them. If you're beginning to recognize how your vibrational signature has been influencing your financial reality all along, type "I'm aligning my frequency" in the comments. The ancient secret to financial mastery has always been hiding in plain sight, encoded in spiritual texts and whispered by wealth consciousness teachers throughout history. It's not a complex formula or an elaborate ritual. It's a simple 5-word command that, when spoken with the correct vibrational signature, instantly opens the floodgates of abundance. In moments of greatest financial pressure, when bills are mounting and resources seem scarce, this is precisely when the command holds its greatest power. Stand still amidst the chaos of your financial concerns. Take a deep, centering breath that connects you to the infinite intelligence that orchestrates galaxies, and with unwavering conviction, the same certainty with which you'd expect gravity to work, declare, "Divine abundance flows to me." These 5 words, when spoken from alignment rather than desperation, create an energetic pathway through which prosperity must travel. It's not the words themselves that hold the power, it's the consciousness behind them. When you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me," with absolute certainty, you're not hoping or wishing, you're commanding the universe itself to reorganize according to this declaration. You're setting in motion forces that transcend your current understanding of how reality works. The transformation in my own financial journey began when I started using this command not as a desperate prayer, but as a decree from a place of spiritual authority. The revelation wasn't just in the words, it was in the stance from which I spoke them. Instead of begging the universe to improve my finances, I was aligning with the truth that abundance was already my divine birthright. I wasn't creating something new, I was claiming what already belonged to me. But here's the pivotal insight that separates those who merely speak positive words from those who actually transform their financial reality. Most people face their financial problems directly, speaking to them as if they have power. They address their debt, their lack, their struggle, unconsciously reinforcing these conditions through focused attention. The breakthrough comes when you learn to speak through your financial challenges rather than to them. Speaking to your financial problems empowers them. It acknowledges them as having substance and authority. Speaking through them diminishes their power. It positions you in authority over them rather than in opposition to them. This subtle but profound shift completely transforms the effectiveness of your command. It's the difference between facing a storm and trying to force it into submission versus standing calmly and speaking peace to the elements themselves. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle is this often overlooked distinction. The wealthy elite don't waste energy fighting against conditions they don't want. They simply decree what they do want with such certainty that conditions have no choice but to align accordingly. This isn't magical thinking. It's a precise application of universal law that responds to the authority in your tone, not the desperation in your circumstances. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what happens in the 72 hours after you issue this 5-word command. Most people abandon their declarations too soon, not recognizing the invisible mechanics that begin working immediately, even when physical evidence hasn't yet appeared in their bank accounts. If you're ready to stop speaking to your financial challenges and start speaking through them with divine authority, type "I speak with certainty now" in the comments below. The paradox of financial manifestation that few understand is that the harder you push for outcomes, the more you actually repel them. When you try to force money to appear through anxious effort, desperate visualization, or constant checking of your accounts, you create tension in the energetic field surrounding you. This tension acts as resistance, blocking the very flow you're attempting to create. More importantly, it signals to the universe that you don't actually believe in the power of your command. You're essentially saying, "I need to help this along because I don't trust it will happen otherwise." Don't let this moment of activation fade away. Subscribe now and continue this journey of financial transformation with me as we unlock even more powerful prosperity secrets together. This revelation transformed my approach to financial abundance completely. I realized that after speaking my 5-word command, divine abundance flows to me, the most powerful thing I could do was absolutely nothing. Not nothing from laziness or resignation, but nothing from profound trust. This non-resistance is the secret ingredient in the recipe for manifestation. When you simply speak the word and then release it, you create space for divine orchestration. You allow the invisible mechanics of creation to rearrange circumstances without your interference. Think about when an archer releases an arrow. What do they do next? They don't chase after it, they don't grab it mid-flight to check if it's heading in the right direction. They trust the laws of physics and their own skill. The same principle applies to your wealth commands. After giving your declaration, you must release it completely and resist the urge to chase it. This is where the real inner work begins. Behind the scenes of every financial breakthrough is this counterintuitive truth. Certainty creates evidence, not the other. Way around. In the conventional world, we believe evidence creates certainty. We think we need to see money in our account before we can believe in abundance. But in divine law, this relationship is reversed. Your unwavering knowing actually draws the manifestation toward you through resonance. This explains another fascinating pattern I've observed among those who masterfully manifest wealth. True power doesn't need volume. Have you noticed how the wealthiest and most influential people rarely raise their voice? There's a profound reason for this. Authentic power doesn't need to announce itself or convince anyone of its presence. It simply is. When you're genuinely aligned with the truth of your abundance, you don't need to shout your commands or intensify your emotions to make them effective. The most powerful financial declarations are often spoken in a voice barely above a whisper, not from timidity, but from absolute knowing. This quiet certainty carries a frequency that the universe recognizes as authority. Think of it like this: gravity doesn't make a sound, yet it holds galaxies together. Electricity flows silently through wires, yet powers entire cities. The most powerful forces in nature operate with remarkable quietness, and the same is true of your manifestation power. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what happens in your energy field when you speak the 5-word command with this quiet certainty. There's a fascinating transformation that takes place at the quantum level. A reorganization of particles that begins immediately, even before any visible evidence appears in your financial reality. If you've noticed how forcing outcomes actually creates resistance in your manifestations, type "I release with trust" in the comments below. What few people realize about wealth creation is that your financial reality is quite literally constructed word by word. Every statement you make about money is laying bricks in the foundation of your financial future. By your words, your wealth is either built or destroyed, not metaphorically, but through the actual mechanism by which consciousness shapes physical reality. This revelation transformed how I viewed casual conversations about my finances. Most people unknowingly sabotage their abundance through what I call poverty architecture. The unconscious habit of describing financial lack in vivid, emotionally charged detail. They craft elaborate narratives about why money is scarce, why wealth is for others but not them, why financial struggle is their particular fate. These aren't innocent observations or harmless venting, they're powerful commands to the creative intelligence that shapes your reality. Think about the everyday phrases you might use. I'm broke. I can't afford that. There's never enough. I'm drowning in debt. Money slips through my fingers. Each of these statements isn't just commenting on your current situation, it's literally programming your future experiences. It's like an architect drawing plans for a structure and then being surprised when construction workers build exactly what was specified in the blueprint. The journey toward financial transformation begins with becoming conscious of these unconscious blueprints. Words aren't merely descriptive, they're prescriptive. They don't just reflect your reality, they create it. Statements like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "You have to work hard for every penny," aren't folk wisdom. They're powerful instructions to the subconscious mind and the quantum field that surrounds you. This insight reveals why many people remain trapped in financial struggle despite their best efforts. They're working against their own architectural designs. They're trying to build wealth while simultaneously drawing blueprints for poverty. The contradiction creates an energetic stalemate where forward progress becomes impossible. The decision to change your words about money is literally the decision to change your financial destiny. This isn't positive thinking or wishful manifestation. It's understanding the fundamental mechanics of how reality is constructed through consciousness. When you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me," with absolute certainty, you're not just making yourself feel better, you're actually redesigning the template from which your financial experiences will be constructed. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle is this often overlooked truth: wealthy people speak a fundamentally different language about money. They don't talk about what they can't afford. They discuss what they choose to invest in. They don't complain about prices. They evaluate value. They don't focus on lack. They emphasize opportunity. This linguistic shift isn't superficial. It's the literal mechanism through which they construct their abundant reality. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore how to systematically replace your current financial blueprints with new ones that actually support the wealth you desire. There's a specific protocol for rewiring your wealth consciousness that goes far beyond simply monitoring your words. It involves reprogramming the subconscious mind where these blueprints originate. If you're beginning to recognize how your words about money have been silently constructing your financial reality, type "I'm changing my wealth blueprint" in the comments. The moment of waking represents the most potent manifestation. Opportunity in your entire day. In those first precious seconds between sleep and full consciousness, your mind exists in what neuroscience calls the theta state, a heightened receptivity where the barrier between your conscious and subconscious mind is temporarily thinned. This quantum moment is a decision point of extraordinary power in your financial journey. Most people squander it entirely before your feet touch the floor, before you reach for your phone to check emails or scroll through social media. Pause and harness this sacred window of manifestation. Take just 5 seconds to issue your wealth command into this fertile, energetic soil. As you emerge from sleep state, simply declare with quiet certainty, "Divine abundance flows to me now. Every financial need is met with ease." This isn't a ritual of superstition. It's a precise application of consciousness technology at the moment when it's most effective. This morning, Wealth Command functions as a vibrational template that the universe recognizes and responds to throughout your day. Just as a farmer plants seeds in prepared soil rather than scattered randomly on concrete, you're planting your abundance declaration in the most receptive ground of your consciousness. The transformation begins when you recognize that these first moments quite literally program your entire financial day. The hidden truth behind this practice is that most people unknowingly surrender their financial authority within seconds of waking. They immediately check their phones, exposing themselves to whatever appears: bills requiring payment, news of economic uncertainty, social media triggering comparison and lack. They reactively hand over their creative power before even fully awakening to the day, allowing external forces to establish the vibrational frequency from which all their financial experiences will unfold. The morning command practice represents a profound reclamation of your spiritual authority. It's you declaring, "I determine my financial reality, not circumstances, not the economy, not past patterns." This decision point, though lasting only 5 seconds, reverberates throughout your entire day, creating what quantum physicists call coherence in your manifestation field, a harmonized pattern that allows wealth to flow without the static of contradictory frequencies. Behind the scenes of financial mastery is this consistent attention to energetic foundations. Those who experience sustained abundance aren't just making different financial decisions. They're operating from a completely different consciousness, one that they deliberately establish from the very first moments of awareness each day. This practice isn't about manipulating outcomes through force. It's about aligning with prosperity before you even engage with the world. What makes this approach so revolutionary is that it bypasses the analytical mind that might otherwise reject your abundance declarations with evidence of current lack. In idea, that theta state morning moment, you're programming directly into the subconscious, the part of you that actually creates your reality, before the critical faculty fully awakens to offer its doubts and limitations. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what happens physiologically and energetically when you practice this morning wealth command consistently over time. There's a fascinating rewiring that takes place in both your neural pathways and your quantum field, creating what I call abundance momentum that begins to transform your financial experiences without additional effort. If you're committing to reclaiming those first 5 seconds of consciousness each morning for your wealth command, type "My mornings create my wealth" in the comments. One of the most profound revelations that transformed my financial journey was understanding that life operates as a game of boomerangs. Everything you send into the field of creation returns to you with astonishing accuracy. This isn't some mystical punishment or reward system. It's a precise description of how vibrational resonance functions in the realm of wealth manifestation. Your thoughts, feelings, and especially your words about money are constantly being broadcast into the quantum field, and that same field faithfully echoes back experiences that match your broadcast. Think of it like this. Every complaint about bills is a boomerang that returns as more bills to complain about. Every anxious statement about not having enough becomes a boomerang that returns as more experiences of lack. Every declaration of gratitude for the money you do have becomes a boomerang that returns as more reasons to feel grateful financially. This mechanism operates with mathematical precision, creating what scientists might call a feedback loop of creation. The awakening in my own prosperity consciousness came when I realized I wasn't a victim of random financial circumstances, but the architect of a precise energetic system that was working exactly as designed, just not in the way I wanted. I was sending out boomerangs of worry, limitation, and scarcity, then acting surprised when those exact experiences kept returning to me. The transformation began when I started consciously choosing which boomerangs to release. This brings us to perhaps the most critical distinction in effective wealth creation. Your 5-word command must originate from love, never fear. It must emerge from faith, never anger. The emotional frequency carrying your words about money determines what echoes back to you from the universe far more powerfully than the words themselves. This explains why identical wealth declarations produce radically different results for different people. Consider what happens when you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me," from a place of desperation or anxiety. Though the words sound positive, the fear vibration creates resistance in the very field you're attempting to influence. It's like throwing a boomerang with a jagged, unstable edge. It won't fly true, and its return will be unpredictable or even harmful. Commands issued from fear produce more experiences that match the fear frequency, regardless of how positive the words might sound. The journey toward mastery involves learning to issue your wealth command from a frequency of love, not the emotional, sentimental kind of love, but the powerful, creative force that ancient wisdom traditions identified as the fundamental energy of the universe itself. When your declaration emerges from this state of being, it creates harmonic resonance that allows manifestation to flow without resistance. It's a boomerang thrown with perfect balance that returns bearing the gifts you intended. Behind the scenes of financial transformation is this subtle but critical shift in the emotional launch pad from which your words originate. Most people focus exclusively on saying the right things while ignoring the energetic signature those things carry. They recite positive affirmations while marinating in the very frequencies they're trying to transform. The breakthrough comes when you learn to shift your emotional state first, then speak from that aligned state. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore a specific technique for ensuring your wealth command always emerges from love rather than fear. There's a precise method for calibrating your emotional frequency before speaking that dramatically. Amplifies the manifestation power of your 5-word command. If you've noticed how your emotional state affects the manifestation of your wealth declarations, type "Love creates, fear destroys" in the comments. The bookends of consciousness, those precious moments just before sleep and just after waking, represent the most powerful portals for financial transformation. While we've explored the morning wealth command, equally potent is the evening practice that works with your subconscious mind when it's most receptive to reprogramming. This nighttime protocol creates what I call prosperity processing that continues working even as you sleep. As you prepare for bed, when the analytical mind begins to quiet and the gateway to the subconscious opens wider, sit quietly for just a moment. Allow your breathing to establish a gentle rhythm that calms your nervous system and centers your awareness. Then, recall one financial situation that's been causing concern, perhaps an unpaid bill, an income goal not yet reached, or a financial decision weighing on your mind. Here's the transformational approach. Don't analyze it or rehearse all the stressful details. Simply visualize this financial concern as if it were floating in front of you, contained in a translucent sphere. See it there, separate from you, observable but not attached to your identity. With calm authority, not the desperate energy of pleading but the centered certainty of commanding, softly say, "Divine abundance flows to me." Now, feel those words penetrating the visualization. Watch as they transform the energy inside the sphere from chaotic anxiety to harmonious order, from scarcity to abundance. Then, with a subtle smile of knowing, drift into sleep, with the absolute certainty that it's already resolved in the realm of causes, even before it manifests in the realm of effects. What makes this evening practice so extraordinarily effective is its timing. Your subconscious mind, the true architect of your financial reality, continues working with your command throughout your sleep state. During these hours, the resistance created by your conscious analytical mind naturally lowers, allowing your prosperity blueprint to be rewritten without interference. It's like installing new software while your computer is in maintenance mode. The updates integrate more completely because the system isn't running other programs. The revelation that transformed my understanding of wealth creation was recognizing that financial breakthroughs aren't created during business hours through strategic action. They're created during sleep hours through subconscious alignment. Your nighttime wealth command activates what neuroscience identifies as the theta brainwave state, the same state hypnotherapists utilize to access and reprogram limiting beliefs that operate beneath conscious awareness. Most people discover that within 48 hours of beginning this practice, tangible shifts begin appearing in their financial landscape. Unexpected opportunities emerge. Resources appear through channels that weren't visible before. People who can help you achieve your financial goals suddenly come into your life. Problems that seemed insurmountable find elegant solutions. This isn't coincidence or wishful thinking, it's the precise mechanism by which consciousness creates reality when properly directed. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle is this often overlooked truth. Your subconscious mind is literally creating your financial reality 24 hours a day through its programming. Most people focus exclusively on their waking actions, while ignoring the subconscious patterns that actually determine results. The evening practice addresses this fundamental gap, working directly with the causal level of creation rather than just the effect level of action. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore why peace represents the most powerful creative frequency for financial manifestation. Most spiritual seekers chase after specific techniques or formulas without recognizing that inner peace itself is the vibrational signature that allows all abundance to flow without resistance. If you're committed to trying this evening financial practice tonight, type "prosperity works while I sleep" in the comments. Many spiritual seekers chase after power, abundance, or specific manifestation techniques without recognizing that peace represents the single most powerful creative frequency for wealth manifestation. This isn't just a pleasant emotional state or a temporary relief from financial anxiety. It's the actual vibrational signature that allows abundance to flow into your experience without resistance. When peace enters a chaotic financial situation, something remarkable happens at the quantum level. Think about what happens when you're facing financial pressure. Your mind typically races in multiple directions, generating dozens of potential scenarios and solutions, most of them fear-based. This mental turbulence creates an energetic static that literally blocks the intuitive guidance that would lead you to abundance. But when you command peace into that same situation, confusion loses its grip. The mind stops its frantic activity and clarity emerges naturally, revealing solutions that were always there but couldn't be perceived through the noise of anxiety. This isn't just psychological, it's energetic. The frequency of peace literally reorganizes the quantum field around your finances, allowing pathways to appear that weren't visible in the chaos of worry. It's like the difference between trying to find your way through a forest during a thunderstorm versus on a clear, calm day. The forest hasn't changed, but your ability to navigate it has transformed completely. The revelation that revolutionized my relationship with wealth was recognizing that when peace governs your financial consciousness, provision multiplies almost effortlessly. This seems counterintuitive to the conventional mindset that equates financial growth with hustle, striving, and constant activity. We've been programmed to believe that abundance comes through struggle, that we must fight for financial freedom, battle debt, and overcome scarcity through sheer force of will. But masters of prosperity understand that anxious energy around money actually repels abundance. It creates resistance in the very field you're attempting to influence. Consider this principle in relationships. The person who pursues with desperate energy typically drives others away, while the one who carries peaceful confidence naturally attracts. The same principle governs your relationship with wealth. Your desperate pursuit of money actually pushes it away energetically, while your peaceful certainty draws it toward you magnetically. Behind the scenes of every significant financial breakthrough is a consciousness at peace with itself and with divine law. This peace isn't passive resignation to current circumstances. It's active alignment with the truth that abundance is your natural state. It's the decision to stand in the eye of the financial storm rather than being tossed about by its winds. From that centered place, you can issue your 5-word command, "Divine abundance flows to me," with an authority that quite literally calms the elements of your financial reality. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what I call storm-proof peace, an inner stability that remains unshaken regardless of external financial appearances. Most people's peace is circumstantial. It comes and goes depending on their bank balance or immediate financial pressures. But true financial mastery emerges from peace that transcends circumstance, peace that remains steady even when everything seems to be falling apart. If you've experienced how peace transforms financial situations in ways that struggle never could, type "Peace creates prosperity" in the comments. The profound revelation that completely transformed my relationship with wealth creation was recognizing that peace isn't the reward for solving financial problems. It's the actual power that solves them. Most people have this equation exactly backward. They believe peace comes after their money worries are resolved, after the debt is paid, after the income flows freely. But this misconception keeps them trapped in a perpetual cycle of financial anxiety, waiting for external circumstances to change before they can experience inner calm. The truth is precisely the opposite. Peace is the causal force, not the effect. It's not what you get when money worries pass. It's what causes money worries to pass in the first place. Peace doesn't arrive after abundance. It creates the energetic conditions for abundance to manifest. This revelation completely reframes how you approach financial challenges, positioning inner stillness not as a distant goal, but as your most immediate and powerful resource. Think about how differently you navigate financial decisions from a state of peace versus a state of anxiety. When centered in peace, your perception expands. You notice opportunities that anxiety would have blinded you to. You access intuitive guidance that fear would have drowned out. You make decisions from wisdom rather than desperation. This isn't just psychological comfort, it's strategic advantage. The journey toward financial mastery involves developing the ability to start with peace rather than hoping to arrive at it eventually. It's about commanding stillness into your consciousness first, knowing that external reorganization must follow by law. This approach reverses the conventional relationship with prosperity, positioning peace not as the destination, but as the vehicle that carries you there. What truly separates financial masters from financial strugglers is the capacity to speak peace during storms, not just during calm weather. Anyone can maintain spiritual alignment when the bank account is full and the bills are paid. True spiritual authority belongs to those who can stand in the center of financial crisis. When the unexpected expense arrives, when the income suddenly drops, when the investment fails, and speak, "Divine abundance flows to me," with the same unwavering certainty they would in perfect conditions. The universe tests authority through contrast. It's almost as if creation itself is asking, "Do you still command when the ground beneath you shakes financially? Do you still speak with certainty when uncertainty surrounds your resources? Do you still declare divine abundance when human scarcity seems to rule the day?" If your answer is yes, not just intellectually but experientially, the financial world must reorganize itself around your command. This capacity isn't developed in comfortable times, but in challenging ones. Each financial challenge presents not an obstacle to your prosperity, but an opportunity to demonstrate mastery at deeper levels. Each seeming setback offers the chance to practice speaking from certainty rather than reacting from fear. The decision to view financial difficulties this way completely transforms how you experience them and, consequently, how quickly they resolve. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what I call the great financial inversion, the counterintuitive truth that storms were never truly external, but internal all along. The chaos you perceive in financial circumstances is always a reflection of chaos in consciousness. Once you recognize this profound principle, your approach to wealth creation shifts dramatically. If you've experienced that powerful moment when speaking peace during financial turbulence actually calmed the storm, type "I command the storm" in the comments. The greatest teachers of prosperity throughout history discovered a fascinating pattern in how the universe operates. It systematically tests your financial authority through contrast and opposition. This isn't punishment or some cosmic game. It's the natural mechanism by which your consciousness develops genuine authority rather than theoretical understanding. Think of it as spiritual weight training. Resistance is what builds strength. Without it, development is impossible. These financial tests often arrive precisely when you begin declaring your abundance. It's almost as if the universe is asking with each challenge, do you really mean what you're saying? Do you still command when your bank account shows zero? Do you still speak with certainty when bills pile up? Do you still declare divine abundance when human scarcity seems to rule the day? These aren't obstacles to your prosperity. They're invitations to demonstrate your authority at deeper levels. The revelation that transformed my financial journey completely was recognizing that how I responded to these moments of contrast literally determined my financial future. Most people abandon their declarations at the first sign of opposition, revealing that they were speaking from hope rather than certainty all along. Financial masters, by contrast, double down on their commands precisely when external evidence contradicts them. They recognize these moments as the actual mechanism of their evolution rather than obstacles to it. Behind the scenes of every significant wealth breakthrough is this often overlooked truth. The universe doesn't respond to intermittent conviction. It responds to unwavering certainty that remains stable regardless of appearances. This manifestation stamina is what separates those who experience occasional financial wins from those who embody sustained abundance as their natural state. But here's the most profound insight that completely revolutionized my relationship with financial challenges. The storms were never truly outside, but within. The chaos you perceive in financial circumstances is always a reflection of chaos in consciousness. The limitations you encounter in your bank account mirror limitations in your belief system. The conflicts you experience with money reflect conflicts in your own thinking about prosperity. This revelation completely transforms how you approach financial challenges. Someone who believes storms are purely external exhausts themselves, fighting against conditions, working harder, pushing more, striving anxiously to change their circumstances through force of will. But someone who recognizes storms as internal focuses their energy on speaking peace to their own consciousness first, knowing that external prosperity must follow by law. When you declare divine abundance flows to me with absolute certainty, you're not trying to manipulate external conditions. You're harmonizing your internal environment, knowing that your outer world must reorganize itself to match that harmony. This is the fundamental mechanism behind what appears to be miraculous financial transformation, not manipulation of circumstances, but alignment of consciousness. The decision to shift from external battle to internal command represents the most significant pivot point in your wealth journey. It's the moment when you stop being a victim of financial circumstances and step into your authority as a co-creator with divine intelligence. Every financial challenge becomes not an obstacle, but a canvas for demonstrating this principle at deeper levels. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore the specific practice that masters of prosperity use during their greatest financial challenges, a counterintuitive approach that completely reverses conventional wisdom about how to handle money problems and accelerates manifestation dramatically. If you're beginning to recognize how your financial struggles have actually been reflecting your inner conflicts all along, type "The storm is within me" in the comments. The most profound mindset revolution in wealth creation begins when you stop viewing money as something external to be fought for and start recognizing it as an expression of your internal state. This paradigm shift completely transforms your approach to financial challenges. When you believe financial storms are purely external, something happening to you rather than through you, you exhaust yourself in battles that can never be truly won. You work longer hours, implement stricter budgets, pursue aggressive strategies, all while fighting against an invisible current of your own creation. This external approach to wealth reflects the conventional wisdom we've all absorbed, that abundance comes through struggle, that prosperity must be earned through sacrifice, that financial freedom requires battling against hostile economic forces. But this perspective keeps you perpetually exhausted, constantly swimming upstream against the very current you're unconsciously creating through your internal state. The transformation in my financial journey came when I recognized that true prosperity emerges not from external battle, but from internal command. When you understand that financial storms originate in consciousness before appearing in circumstance, you stop exhausting yourself fighting conditions and start focusing on the true source, your own awareness. You speak peace to your internal environment first, knowing that external abundance must follow by universal law. This isn't wishful thinking. It's understanding the causal relationship between consciousness and manifestation. Think of it this way: trying to change financial circumstances without changing consciousness is like trying to adjust your reflection in the mirror by manipulating the image itself rather than changing what it's reflecting. The approach is fundamentally flawed because it addresses effects rather than causes. Financial mastery comes when you recognize yourself as the projector, not just the viewer of the screen. You change the film, not just react to what's showing. This revelation transforms how you perceive every financial challenge that enters your experience. What once appeared as obstacles blocking your path to abundance now reveal themselves as invitations to demonstrate your command at deeper levels. Each bill that seems impossible to pay, each unexpected expense, each income plateau, these aren't barriers to your prosperity. They're opportunities to practice speaking with authority rather than anxiety, to declare divine abundance flows to me from that centered place of knowing rather than the frantic energy of hoping. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle is this fundamental shift in perception. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the wealthy consciousness asks, "What is this revealing for me?" Instead of thinking, "I can't afford this," it declares, "This is showing me where I need to strengthen my abundance command." This perspective doesn't deny challenges. It reframes them as the very mechanism through which your manifestation power develops and matures. The decision point in financial mastery is choosing to view each money worry not as evidence that your commands aren't working, but as the precise arena in which they must be applied more powerfully. It's like a muscle that develops strength only when challenged with resistance. Your financial authority grows not during easy times, but during moments that invite doubt. These are your opportunities for quantum leaps in consciousness. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what I call commanding the invisible forces. The profound understanding that you're never actually commanding money itself, but rather the invisible intelligence that orchestrates all manifestation. This distinction completely transforms the effectiveness of your 5-word command and accelerates your financial breakthroughs dramatically. If you're beginning to see your financial challenges as growth opportunities rather than obstacles, type "Every challenge strengthens my command" in the comments. The greatest revelation that transformed my entire understanding of prosperity came when I realized that the creative power flowing through me is not different from the power that shapes universes. This isn't poetic metaphor. It's the fundamental truth of your existence, the same divine intelligence that orchestrates cosmic events, that holds galaxies in perfect orbit, that choreographs the intricate dance of atoms and cells. This exact same creative force flows through your consciousness, waiting to be directed through your words about money. Think about what this means for your financial reality. Your declarations about abundance aren't merely positive thoughts floating into the ethers. They're energetic instructions that vibrate through eternity, setting in motion forces that transcend your current understanding. When you speak, divine abundance flows to me with absolute certainty. You're not engaging in wishful thinking. You're activating the same creative principle that birthed stars and planets. You're utilizing the fundamental mechanism by which all reality is constructed. This understanding completely shifts your relationship with wealth creation. Most people approach financial manifestation as if it were something mysterious or magical, something they might or might not be able to accomplish based on worthiness or special techniques. But the truth is that manifestation isn't something you learn to do. It's something you already are doing every moment through your consciousness. The only question is whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, deliberately or by default. The awakening in my own journey came when I recognized that I was never separate from the abundance I was seeking. Like most people, I had positioned myself in opposition to wealth, constantly battling against financial lack, fighting for every dollar as if prosperity was some distant shore I needed to reach through struggle and strain. This perspective created an energetic contradiction. I was simultaneously trying to attract abundance while reinforcing my separation from it through the very way I was approaching it. Masters of prosperity understand that you can't attract what you believe you don't already have in essence. They recognize themselves not as seekers of abundance, but as expressions of the very abundance they desire. They don't see wealth as something external to chase, but as an extension of their own consciousness, waiting to be recognized and claimed. This profound shift from separation to oneness completely transforms the effectiveness of your wealth command. Behind the scenes of every financial transformation is this fundamental realization. You are not separate from the prosperity you seek. The illusion of separation is precisely what keeps most people locked in struggle with money. They're reaching for something that's already within them, fighting to acquire what they already possess in consciousness. The breakthrough comes not from obtaining something new, but from recognizing what has always been true. The decision to speak, divine abundance flows to me from this aligned understanding of your true nature as source. Not separate from abundance, but an expression of it, amplifies the manifestation power of these words exponentially. You're not trying to convince some external force to bless you with prosperity. You're simply declaring the truth of what already is, allowing that truth to express more fully in your visible experience. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what happens when you begin to live from this profound recognition of your oneness with abundance. There's a fascinating transformation that occurs in how you move through the financial world, not as a beggar hoping for scraps, but as a conscious creator experiencing the natural expression of your divine nature. If you felt that profound shift from seeking abundance outside yourself to recognizing it as your essential nature, type "I am the abundance I seek" in the comments. The fundamental mindset shift that revolutionizes your financial reality occurs when you stop reacting to money challenges and start commanding solutions with absolute certainty. This isn't a semantic distinction, it's a complete transformation in how you engage with the creative forces that shape your prosperity. When unexpected expenses arise, when income seems insufficient, when financial pressure mounts, most people immediately default to anxiety. Their breathing changes, their energy constricts, and their thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios. This reactive pattern isn't just emotionally uncomfortable, it's energetically counterproductive. Anxiety broadcasts a frequency of scarcity that the universe faithfully echoes back as more experiences of lack. The breakthrough in wealth consciousness comes when you interrupt this automatic response and choose a completely different pathway. commanding solutions with unshakable certainty. Instead of asking, "How will I ever afford this?" you declare, "Divine abundance flows to me now." Instead of doubting your financial path when obstacles appear, you declare clarity with absolute conviction. The revelation that transformed my own journey was recognizing that certainty isn't something that comes after evidence. It's what creates the evidence in the first place. Most people are waiting to feel certain about their financial abundance until after they see it in their bank account. But this reverses the actual sequence of manifestation. Your certainty must precede the physical manifestation, not follow it. This is the hidden mechanism behind what appears as financial miracles. Think of it this way: instead of chasing after wealth, pursuing it as if it was something separate from you that needs to be captured through effort and strain, you simply align with its essence. You recognize abundance as your natural state and allow it to express through you rather than struggling to acquire it from outside yourself. This subtle shift from chasing to aligning completely transforms the energy behind your wealth command and accelerates its manifestation dramatically. Behind the scenes of every financial breakthrough is this profound truth. Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. This isn't blind belief or wishful thinking. It's spiritual technology operating according to precise universal laws. You don't command financial circumstances from a place of lack, desperately hoping they'll change. You command from a consciousness that recognizes the abundance as already accomplished in spiritual reality, simply waiting to express in physical form. This principle operates throughout nature. The seed doesn't hope it will become a tree someday. It already contains the full pattern of the tree within it and simply allows that pattern to unfold through time and space. Your abundance operates according to this same principle. The fullness of your prosperity already exists in what spiritual teachers call the unmanifest, the realm of pure potential. Your command doesn't create it, it simply calls it forth into visible expression. The decision to live from this consciousness of already accomplished rather than hopefully someday completely transforms how you move through the financial world. You stop begging and start decreeing. You stop worrying and start commanding. You stop hoping and start knowing. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment with the fundamental truth of how manifestation actually works. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore how the universe functions as your financial echo, faithfully mirroring back to you the exact frequency of your words and consciousness about money. Understanding this reflection principle revolutionizes how you engage with the 5-word command and explains why identical wealth declarations produce dramatically different results for different people. If you're beginning to recognize how your own certainty creates your financial reality rather than responds to it, type "Faith precedes manifestation" in the comments. One of the most profound revelations that transformed my understanding of wealth creation was recognizing that the universe functions not as your opponent in the game of financial abundance, but as your faithful echo. This isn't poetic metaphor, it's the literal mechanism behind manifestation. Whatever frequency you broadcast through your words and consciousness about money, the universe precisely mirrors that back to you as tangible experience. When you declare lack with conviction, it echoes lack with mathematical precision. When you declare abundance with certainty, it echoes abundance with equal faithfulness. Think of it like standing in a vast canyon. Whatever you shout into the void comes back to you with perfect accuracy. If you shout, "I never have enough," the echo returns, "Never have enough." If you declare money is hard to come by, the financial canyon faithfully returns, "Hard to come by," as your experience. This isn't punishment or reward. It's simply the impersonal operation of universal law responding to the authority of your consciousness. The breakthrough in my own journey came when I realized I wasn't a victim of random economic forces or financial bad luck. I was experiencing the perfect echo of my own dominant thoughts and declarations about money. The universe wasn't happening to me, it was responding to me. This single insight revolutionized my entire relationship with wealth creation. I stopped blaming circumstances, the economy, or other people for my financial situation and recognized myself as the broadcaster creating the echo. This revelation represents perhaps the most significant mindset shift possible in your prosperity journey. Your financial world isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. Most people live as if they were helpless, passengers on a financial roller coaster at the mercy of external forces beyond their control. They react to conditions, struggling to adapt to circumstances they believe are imposed upon them. But financial masters understand that the entire paradigm is reversed. They aren't responding to the world is responding to them. This understanding transforms everything about how you engage with money. Your relationship with wealth shifts from reaction to creation, from constantly addressing unwanted circumstances to consciously generating prosperity through aligned command. Instead of anxiously monitoring conditions and then adjusting your feelings accordingly, you deliberately establish the energetic broadcast that conditions must then match. You become the initiator rather than the responder, the creator rather than the victim. Behind the scenes of every financial breakthrough is this profound recalibration in how you perceive your relationship with universal forces. When you declare divine abundance flows to me with absolute certainty, you're not pleading with some external power to bless you with prosperity. You're simply establishing the frequency that the universe must echo back as tangible abundance. You're utilizing the fundamental mechanism by which reality constructs itself in response to consciousness. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore the specific language patterns that masters of abundance use to ensure their financial echoes are consistently positive. There's a fascinating distinction in how wealthy people speak about money compared to those who struggle financially. A linguistic blueprint that reveals exactly how consciousness shapes reality through the echo principle we've been discussing. If you're recognizing how the universe has been faithfully echoing your own words about money back to you as experience, type "I create the echo" in the comments. When you study the communication patterns of true wealth masters, you discover a fascinating linguistic blueprint that reveals exactly how consciousness shapes financial reality. These individuals use language structures that leave absolutely no room for doubt or limitation, not as a technique or affirmation practice, but as an authentic expression of their inner certainty about abundance. They don't say, "I hope this investment works out," or "I'm trying to increase my income," or "things should get better financially soon." These tentative phrases simply don't exist in their prosperity vocabulary. Instead, wealth masters speak as if their desired financial reality is already established fact. They don't discuss what might happen or what they're hoping will occur monetarily. They make declarations with such unwavering conviction that you'd think they were describing something already visible rather than something in the process of manifesting. "This investment is performing excellently. My income is increasing steadily. My financial situation improves daily." The distinction isn't just semantic, it's the actual mechanism through which they construct their abundant reality. This insight revealed a profound truth about manifestation. Your language isn't just expressing your financial reality, it's creating it. The words you choose aren't merely describing what exists, they're establishing the template for what will exist. When you declare "divine abundance flows to me" with absolute certainty, you're not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true yet. You're aligning your verbal expressions with the truth that already exists in spiritual reality, allowing that truth to manifest in your physical experience. The revelation that transformed my own financial journey was recognizing that this certainty-based language isn't something to be used only during special moments of spiritual practice or affirmation. It must infuse your entire communication about money, your casual conversations, your internal dialogue, your responses to financial pressure, everything. Prosperity consciousness isn't a part-time practice. It's a consistent state of being that expresses through every word you speak about wealth. What's particularly fascinating is how wealth masters use this approach strategically during both prosperous times and challenging ones. When finances are flowing well, they speak with certainty to multiply and expand that flow. My prosperity increases daily in every dimension. When facing financial challenges, they use the exact same certainty to stabilize and transform those conditions. This situation is revealing greater abundance than I've ever experienced. The tone doesn't change based on circumstances. The certainty remains absolute, regardless of temporary appearances. This consistency creates what I call linguistic momentum in your manifestation field, a gathered energy that begins to carry your financial reality forward with increasing ease. Most people speak with conviction only when conditions support their declarations, then abandon that certainty the moment challenges appear. This vacillation creates energetic static that disrupts the manifestation process. Financial masters maintain unwavering linguistic certainty across all conditions, allowing momentum to build without interference. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what I call vibrational integrity, the profound alignment between your internal feeling state, your verbal declarations, and your physical actions regarding money. This three-dimensional congruence is what separates those who simply speak positive words from those who actually transform their financial reality through the power of their command. If you've noticed how your language patterns about money have been directly influencing your financial experiences, type "My words create my wealth" in the comments. What if what you've been experiencing throughout our conversation isn't just information being transferred, but an actual activation of dormant prosperity coding within your consciousness? This isn't a metaphorical question, it's a genuine inquiry into the nature of transformation itself. The words we've been exploring together aren't merely concepts to consider intellectually. They're vibrational catalysts designed to awaken something that has always existed within you, your natural authority as a creator of financial abundance. Have you noticed subtle shifts occurring within you as we've been discussing these principles? Perhaps a growing sense of recognition, as if you're not learning something new, but remembering something you've always known. This familiar resonance isn't coincidence. It's the revelation of your authentic relationship with prosperity beginning to surface through the layers of conditioning that have temporarily obscured it. The activation has already begun, preparing you to speak with entirely new authority into your financial circumstances. Think about how differently you'll approach money challenges after today. The next time financial pressure appears, instead of contracting into anxiety or doubt, you'll feel an inner prompting to stand in your authority and declare, "Divine abundance flows to me." But you won't just be reciting words you heard in a video. You'll be expressing your newly awakened consciousness, commanding from that centered place of knowing rather than hoping. The activation we're experiencing together is shifting your entire energetic relationship with wealth creation. This revelation represents the most significant insight possible about financial mastery. The 5-word command isn't just a technique to try or a strategy to implement. It's a profound truth about who you actually are. You are not a beggar hoping for prosperity to be granted by forces beyond your control. You are a divine commander whose words literally shape financial reality. You're not developing this capacity, you're remembering and reclaiming it as your natural state. Behind the scenes of this journey is divine timing that goes beyond coincidence. You're rediscovering this principle today at exactly the right moment in your wealth evolution. Not a moment too early or too late, but precisely when your consciousness is ready to embody this truth at deeper levels. The challenges you've experienced, the financial lessons you've learned, even the frustrations you've felt, all have been preparation for this moment of remembering your true relationship with abundance. The transformation isn't something that begins after you finish watching this video. It's already underway within you as we speak. Each principle we've explored has been systematically dissolving old patterns and activating new neural and energetic pathways. Your prosperity consciousness is literally being rewired in real time through our exploration together, creating the foundation for entirely new financial experiences to manifest in your reality. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore what happens after you begin consistently using this 5-word command from your newly activated state of authority. There's a fascinating progression that occurs as your consciousness stabilizes in this new prosperity paradigm, a series of expansions that transform not just your financial reality, but your entire experience of what it means to create through the power of your word. If you can feel something awakening within you as we explore these principles together, type, "My abundance." Authority is activating in the comments. As we come to this moment of completion in our journey together, I want you to consider something profound. What if this conversation wasn't random chance but divine orchestration? What if you were guided to this message at precisely this moment because your consciousness was ready for this activation? The universe operates with perfect timing, bringing exactly what we need when we're prepared to receive it. If you felt that resonance as we've explored these principles together, that sense of remembering rather than learning, I'd love for you to write "Divine abundance flows to me now" in the comments below. This isn't just a comment, it's your first public declaration of financial authority, setting powerful forces in motion through your words. Our connection through this exploration has been meaningful, and if you found value in these revelations about your true relationship with wealth, that gentle tap on the like button is more than just a gesture. It's you participating in spreading this message to others who need to hear it right now. It's your way of saying these truths deserve to be shared. This journey we've begun together is just the first step. I create these videos as spiritual activations, not just information. If you're ready to continue walking this path of financial mastery with me, subscribe to join our community of divine commanders, transforming their reality word by word. Right next to this video, you'll find another exploration that builds perfectly on what we've discussed today, the hidden ritual that multiplies your 5-word command. Click there now and let's continue unveiling these spiritual technologies together, one revelation at a time.